there, it's Allison for the Everyday Scrapbooker, and today I'm sharing with you another simple Christmas card. I, off camera, cut 2 snowflakes, one from sugar plum glitter paper and another from just plain white cardstock using close to my heart snowflake thin cuts. I'll show you in just a moment. There it is. And I also cut the rectangle from the stitched rectangle thin cut set, also from close to my heart. I'm also going to be using the Say It in Style stamp set, which is also from close to my heart. All the products, if they are available still from close to my heart, will be included in the description box down at the bottom of this video. So you have the opportunity to get them for yourself if you want as well. I'm just going to adhere the white snowflake to the back of the pattern paper, which comes from Holly Jolly, a paper collection from close to my heart that is available currently. I showed it to you at the beginning of the video. And then I'm going to adhere the sugar plum glitter snowflake on top of that. But first I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment, which is Happy Holidays. I was going to stamp it in ink first, but then decided at the last minute that I was going to heat emboss it instead. So I primed my paper with my anti-static pouch and stamped the sentiment in Versamark ink and then covered that with silver embossing powder. Once that's done, I'm going to trim the strip down so that I can make it really thin. And then I'm going to cut one end into a pennant. So I'll dovetail it and then make it the 2 points for the pennant. It's going to be adhered between the 2 snowflakes. So it's going to be so pretty when it's done. Of course, I always do my heat embossing over top of a scrap piece of computer paper, printer paper. I use that to catch the excess powder and then put it back into the little canister that it came from. The silver embossing powder that I use to create this embossing is from embossing powder that I've had in my stash for quite a while, and I'm not sure who it came from. It may have came from Michael's at one time, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. So right now I'm just dovetailing the little sentiment. I cut a little bit more of the end off because I found it was going to be a little bit too long. And all I do to dovetail it is make a cut in the center of the strip, right in the middle, and then 2 snips from the outside edges of each side of the strip to make the little points. Now I'm going to adhere the sugar plum snowflake to the mat, but because the center is open, I don't want the snowflake behind it to show through. So I'm just going to trace it onto some scrap white cardstock, cut it out. I did this off camera, and then glue it to the center of the snowflake so that it kind of grounds it a little bit. I used some liquid glass to glue it together. And then on that little strip of scrap cardstock, I put a foam square to add some dimension. And at this point, I figured I was going to glue the sentiment just with my tape runner, but decided to add foam squares to that as well, so it was the same height as the purple snowflake, and I like that a lot better. It just adds a little bit of depth and dimension between the snowflake in the background and what's in the foreground. I wanted that to pop just a little bit more. I'm taking some time to make that a little bit straighter because it didn't look very straight to me. I'll throw some adhesive onto the back side of that mat and adhere it to the top center of the card mat. And also at the last minute, at this point the card was going to be done, totally completed, and I put the adhesive on the back of it and then decided I wanted to pull in some more silver. So went dumpster diving through my stash and found some close to my heart charcoal cardstock that was scraps and matted that behind the panel with the snowflakes on it. And I'm so glad I made that decision because it looks so good put all together. So once that's trimmed, it's slightly smaller than 4¼ by 5½ inches. I'm going to mat the white panel onto the charcoal, and then I'll glue the whole thing to the card base. And with that, the card is completed. It's such a simple card to make, and it's so pretty. I absolutely love it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this simple card. And if you want to see any more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you don't miss anything from me. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you again very soon. Bye.